All right, y'all, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is when you watch the video, just make it apply. I hope everybody is in good, positive energy. We're going to start this reading with the Orishas. I love the Orishas. I'm over here by my altar with Mama Oya, Daddy Chango on the right side. And man, let's get into it. First thing is, guys, make sure you check out these rose quartz. I went over it in my last video. They have plenty of necklaces. I just only got the rose quartz and the green jade. I want everybody to start going to the website. It's otterspirit.com. If you need the website, just let me know. Just leave a comment and I'll send it to you. And it's also in the description. They have some really beautiful crystals, and this is the rose quartz. I want everybody to get the rose quartz so that we can start doing rituals with the rose quartz. I'm going to end up doing a live, giving people enough time to go on the website and order. Get your rose quartz. I sell a Love Mojo bag. You can get a Mojo bag to go with it. It's always going to be on your dominant side. So for me, it's going to be on my right side. And with a powerful rose quartz, with your Love Mojo bag, and with a pink candle, you can manifest love. You can manifest the love that you want. So let's make sure that we are doing the work. These are simple workings that we can do. Your rose quartz you can keep on you all day long. Whether you have your Eleguas and everything else on, you can keep that rose quartz, bringing in some positive energy. First, I want to talk about how we approach the Orishas. Every Orisha is completely different. And the more you work with the Orishas, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know how to work with them, whether it is through your Babalao or whether they give you direct messages. And this is where the fight come in. You know, some people think that the Orishas don't speak to you, that they don't speak to you outside of divination, that they don't show up in dreams and things like that. Why people believe that, I don't know. It's silly as hell. The Orishas will appear in dreams and everything else, including your intuition, giving you downloads and messages. They will tell you what it is that you need to know. One of the things I want to stress in this reading is that the most powerful ritual is when you are guided by your team. Is that you can read a lot of things in books, but you're not going to really get the experience of working with the spirits and working with the Orishas until you start working with them. They are more than what you can read in books. They are more than what you can comprehend on an audio. They are more than what you can imagine through a video, through someone talking about the Orishas through their experience. The best way to experience the Orishas is by working directly with them. You get to see things from your own point of view. And now you don't have to worry about Babalao saying they don't work with the uninitiated when they do, that they don't speak through intuition when they do. Spirits are known for speaking through intuition when it comes to Igun spirit guides and ancestors. But when it comes to the deities, most people think that the deities only speak through divination and they don't speak through intuition. But the one thing that I want to remind all of you guys is that when you are going through the consecration of consecrating the Orishas, is that Igun is present. Igun magic is present. And so in each and every last one of these Orishas that you also have a spirit of Igun in every last one of those stones and every last one of those things that was consecrated. So although you are speaking to the Orisha, there is still a spirit of Igun that is inside that as well. And because there is a spirit of Igun, you can receive dreams, you can receive downloads, you can receive things through your intuition, and it is the Orisha that is speaking. This is something that people are going to fight about, but at the end of the day, you know it to be true based on your experience. You always go on your experience and not the teachings of others. If I tell you something that you know for a fact is true, you always believe you and never believe the other person, because even though the other person may be coming from a good space, Even though their intentions may be pure, at the end of the day, they're still serving as a distraction. Always listen to yourself. Never allow someone else to override what it is that you truly believe. With each deity is completely different. With one of my warrior deities, where every time that I approach him, he want me to wear a certain color and it's always shirtless. And that's why in some of my videos I'm shirtless, because that's the deity I'm working with. It's not meant to be a thirst trap. It's not meant to get anybody attention, because at this point I don't want nobody attention. And every deity is just different. With this warrior deity, for whatever reason, it's always, I want you to be shirtless. Still have on your pants. I still want you to wear certain colors around your waist. I still want you to have a certain color hat on. And so it's a certain way I must approach that deity. When it comes to Oya, or when it comes to any deity, when you say the incantation, there's a reason why we have shakers. And there's a reason why we have bells. And most people don't know it. Some people just think that it's decoration. When it comes to certain deities, once you say the incantation, you are using that shaker before you're giving your offering. So once you do your incantation, that is an offering in and of itself, because you're using coconuts, and you dip the coconut in water and you drip the water on the Orisha while you're saying the incantation. And so that is your first offering. Your first offering is water, coconut water, I guess you can say, because the coconut is dipped in water. And then from there, the coconut is used as divination, where it's saying, this is the offering I'm presenting to you. Do you accept it? Boom. You blop it and they tell you yes or no. And then from there, this is what I'm coming to you for. Will you protect me? Will you help me? Will you bless this ritual? Boom. You throw the divination down, and then it'll let you know yes or no. And then once you get done with that, if it's an Orisha that like the shaker, you start shaking. You shake right on the Orisha. When it comes to Oya, Oya is a shaker. When it comes to Chango, Chango is a shaker. When it comes to Elegua, Elegua, shake, 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 shake. When it comes to Ochosi, shake, 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 shake. When it comes to Ogun, shake, 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 shake. When it comes to Orumula and Osun, shake, 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 shake. When it comes to Yemaya, shake, 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 shake. When it comes to Obatala, it is a bell. It is a silver bell, and Obatala don't want you to go crazy with the bell. You're controlling the bell that is very slow. Ding, ding, ding. When it comes to Oshun, it is a bell and it's loud. Oshun is a very loud, shiny energy. And so it's a bell and you're shaking the shit out of that bell. And then when it comes to Oduduwa, it's a shaker. When it comes to Olokun, it's a shaker. And when it comes to Oko, it's a shaker. Just naming the deities that I have. And so we start off with shaking right after the incantation. One of the things that I want to share with you with Oya is when you are telling Oya your personal problems, whereas Oya, these are the things that I'm going through. I have people working against me. People are doing this and that. You always want to fan on your altar, because Oya wants to be fanned. And so as you are speaking with Oya, you're getting by the altar, and if it's tobacco smoke, you're blowing your tobacco smoke, but Oya like to be fanned. And so you're fanning her as you're doing your things. Once you get done with the shaker, you're fanning her as you're talking about those deep personal problems. Just teaching you how to work with the Orishas, man. The Orishas are beautiful energy. Sometimes we don't know how to work with the Orishas because people are not teaching. You see these things on the altar where you'll see a fan, but you don't know what it's for. It's like, why is it a fan on the altar? Why is it a bell on the altar? Why is it a shaker on the altar? Because those things must be used. And so with Oya, it's two different fans that I have on our altar. I have a rainbow because Oya is the rainbow. Oya is all colors. Well, specifically, Obatala is the full rainbow. Oya is 9 colors. You always want something with as many colors as you can because Oya is the number of 9. Oya is part Orisha, part Igun. And so when it comes to Oya, just like you have 9 different colors on your ancestor altar, that it should be a white tablecloth on top of the altar, and then from there you should have 9 different colors dripping from your altar, and you should have 9 cups with 1 cup in the middle with the crucifix in it. That is the energy of Igun. And it's the same way with Oya, because Oya is the Orisha of the cemetery. She is the Orisha of the marketplace. She is the Orisha of thunder. She is the Orisha of wind. When you think of Oya, you think of Storm from X-Men. Oya is a full-blown goddess. She is a warrior goddess. And so Oya is very powerful. It is said that Oya is the only Orisha, the only female Orisha that fight in battle with the male Orishas. And the one thing that Oya is noted for is fighting on the side of Chango. Oya and Chango is always together in battle, and that is a powerful combination, which is the representation of both my mom and my dad in this religion. Is Oya is my head Orisha. I am crowned Oya, and so every time when you think of Oya, Oya is the Orisha of 9. You always want to wear as many colors as possible. With her hat, it's always different colors. With a fan, it's always different colors. Outside of that, it's maroon. The other fan on the altar is a decorated maroon fan. And so that is how you approach Oya, is that when you talk to her, you fan. You fan her as you're telling those deep problems. If you do not have your consecrated Orisha, where do we go in order to access the energy of Oya? We go to the gate of the cemetery, not inside the cemetery. Inside the cemetery is actually a different Orisha. Oya is the gate of the cemetery. So whenever you are trying to give offering to Oya, you leave it at the gate of the cemetery. With the cemetery, make sure you bring some damn Florida water, even if it's just at the gate. You definitely want to do Florida water and hit the back of your neck, because the back of your neck is the axis of Igun. Just like your feet is the entrance to your body, whenever you're doing rituals to bring things to you like money, love, prosperity, the entrance is the foot. But when it comes to Igun, Igun is the back of your neck. So when you are going in the cemetery, the first thing you need to do is take some Florida water and hit the back of that neck. Because if not, you might be leaving with some spirits. Some spirits might be following you home, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. And so we go to the cemetery, the gate of the cemetery, in order to access Oya, or we go to the marketplace. What is the marketplace? The marketplace, when you think of the marketplace, it's not your grocery stores. Your marketplace is where you have your farmers and things like that they are selling goods. Whether it's candles they're selling, whether it's jewelry they're selling, or whether it's fruits and vegetables. You're going to the marketplace where people have their booth. They are their own independent vendors selling their things. That is the energy of Oya. Oya is an Orisha of prosperity and abundance because of the marketplace. When you work with the energy of Oya, Oya will give you ideas for your own business. Oya will give you ideas of things that you need to be selling. Oya is a very independent woman. When it comes to Oya, Oya will teach you how to be a boss. Even when it comes to the energy of Oya, Oya is the first lieutenant to Obatala, which is the oldest Orisha, which is the first Orisha. Obatala is noted for being the Orisha of creation. He is the Orisha that made us, that sculpted us from clay. And then it was Oya that came in and gave us the breath of life. And Oya is the Orisha that is present when you die, because she takes back the breath of life. And then, of course, when you're going to Olodumare, it is Oduduwa that is present, that is ready to judge you, that is ready to tell you what you have done in this life. And so every Orisha plays a certain part. Even though Obatala is the one that is created, that is noted for making mankind, making bodies, it was a lot of Orishas in this step. You had Ogun. It was tools from Ogun that Obatala used in order to craft the body. You know, it is Oya that was present that gave the breath of life. And so, you know, Obatala is noted for creating mankind, but it was other Orishas that played a part as well. And so whenever we're working with the energy of Oya, you want to make sure that you have your fan, especially when you are talking to Oya about deep-seated issues. And you want to make sure that you have your shaker. Shake, 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 shake. Those are two important tools that you want to make sure that you have whenever you're working with Oya. Love you, Mama Oya. When it comes to people saying that you don't show the Orishas, just keep in mind the vase, although it is beautiful, the vase is not the Orisha. This is just the house that they are in. What you don't show is what's inside this vase. What's inside the vase is the actual Orisha. And so this is just the house for the Orisha. This is just their throne. You never show what's actually inside. When you're working directly with the Orisha, you open it up and start working with the Orisha itself and not the house. Especially when there's a very important offering that you need to give, like Igbo. You take them out of their house and you work directly with the Orisha. The one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is not ignoring your dreams. Dreams are very, very, very important. And I'm sorry if the meditation music is loud. I did try to turn it down. The meditation music is one of the things that we play every single night. It's never a night that we have missed playing meditation music. Meditation music has always been one of the things that has been beneficial to me. Spirit told me at a very young age to make sure that I play meditation music at night, and I have been doing it ever since, and it has been a blessing. It relaxes the soul, it refreshes the soul, it brings good energy into your home, especially when someone is trying to do witchcraft and stuff against you at night. It can be a protection. It's not an ultimate protection like a cleanse or a ritual, but it do bring really good vibrations, and it helps you to stay at a really good frequency. And so meditation music is one of the things I play every single night, and it's still pretty early here. I want to say it's probably like 3 or 4 in the morning right now. And so meditation music, as long as that meditation music is on, you know somebody in the house is asleep. Never ignore your dreams. We have to learn how to stop seeking so much stuff externally. Because when you seek externally, you start depending on things externally instead of realizing that you are a full-blown God because of the energy of a Ori that is inside of you. That is the very first God that you were introduced to. That you have power to manifest whatever it is that you want because of the breath of God, which is Ashe, that flows through your vein. Because of that, you are a powerful MF. You can do whatever it is that you want, and you can create whatever reality that you want. And so we have to stop depending so much on the external. Ever since I received Olokun, which to me, Olokun is the ruler of dreams. He is the ruler of the subconscious. And remember, Olokun is a dual energy, just like Obatala. Olokun and Obatala is androgynous, which means they have both parts. They have male and female parts. And so when you receive Olokun or Obatala, you can get the male version or the female version. Mine is female, so I don't even know why I said he. Mainly saying he because when you hear of Olokun, everybody notes Olokun for being a male, but you can have a female version of Olokun. Olokun is the ruler of the subconscious. And ever since I received Olokun, I have been getting nothing but powerful dreams back to back. I've always had dreams before receiving Olokun, but now those dreams are even more powerful. That is the difference between uninitiated and initiated, is that I was always a dreamer. I always had dreams even when I was uninitiated. And so that gift did not, it only activated once I got Olokun. That's not what happened. That gift has always been activated. But now, since I received an Orisha that is the ruler of the subconscious, it's making those dreams even stronger than what they were prior. One of the things that Olokun did last night was basically revisit a dream. It was a dream that I already had in the past, but this time in the dream, it was more things that I was able to see. I was able to see a lot of shadows, and it was things that I didn't see the first time around in that dream. And so the dream was telling me that there's people working against you. There's people working in the shadows. And with you not seeing this the first time, this is someone that is doing magic that is covering themselves up. They're covering themselves up that you won't be able to see them, that they're not being revealed. And so that was the importance of what Olokun was teaching me last night in my dreams, that you have someone working against you and it's time to stop that energy. I woke up, and the way that I woke up was a loud thunder, the energy of Oya. And that is one of the reasons why I'm working with Oya now, is that it was a huge thunder, and it was just like unavoidable. I woke my ass up, and the first thing that I did was I looked at my phone, and it was 1:21 in the morning. And I have been up ever since doing all types of workings. And so that was significant because, and once I heard the thunder, then that's when you seen the lightning, and it just completely lit up the two windows that I have in my room, that it provided so much light that I was like, oh yeah, it's time for me to get my ass up. It's time for me to get up. I looked at my phone and it was 1:21, and 21 is the number of Elegua. Every time you see the number 21, that is the first thing that should come to mind, is Elegua. Elegua is the number 21. And so in that moment, it's like, okay, Elegua is sending me a message. Oya is sending me a message with the thunder. And then, of course, with the lightning, that is Chango. Chango is lightning and fire. And it's like, okay, Chango is sending me something. And the main thing was Oya and Chango was sending me their approval, because in the dream it says specific things that was going to happen, and which I'm definitely not going to say on video, but they are pretty much saying, look, this is what I'm going to do. And so now we get to this point that, what I want to share with you is, the thing that I want to share with you is that Olokun was revealing to me that people are working against you in the shadow, and they are doing magic to hide themselves, to cloak themselves. And so the question is, how do we see people that are cloaked? Whenever we are trying to see people that are cloaked, we work with the mirror. The mirror. Who is the owner of the mirror? The owner of the mirror is technically Oshun. And Oshun is a very, depending on what version you get of Oshun, because you got to remember that every Orisha has multiple paths. And so you don't know what path of the Orisha you actually have unless you do the ceremony. And so my Oshun is a full-blown witch. My Oshun is a very powerful witch. And so depending on what Odu and things that you have with that Orisha is going to let you know what version of the Orisha that you have. And everyone altar is going to be completely different. That's just like my Yemaya. My Yemaya is different than some people Yemaya. My Yemaya like plates around her. And so around my altar is fine china, where it's beautiful plates, elegant plates, because that is the plate that my Yemaya likes. You have to learn, and this is going to come once you get initiated and things like that. But you have to learn how the Orisha wants you to approach them. Sometimes the Orisha will want you to dress in a certain color, which will be their color, and so you need to learn that. Sometimes the Orisha may only want you to work with them on their day. Sometimes they will want you to work with them on a daily basis. You know, and you got to learn how to approach the Orishas. That, you know, some is a shaker, some is a shaker and additional with a fan, some is a bell. And so you have to learn how to approach the Orishas. So let's get back to the mirror in order to find who's working against you. The mirror is Oshun. Oshun is a really good deity to work with, and you can work with Oshun in order to reveal your hidden enemies. I like Elegua because even though Oshun is the owner of the mirror is still a portal, and portals belong to Elegua. Elegua is the Orisha of the door, of the threshold, which is the middle part of the door. Elegua is mirrors. Elegua is the window. Elegua is the roads. Anything that is a entrance into your home, on your path, in any type of way, Elegua is the owner of that. And so one of the things that you have to understand about your altars is like a conduit, is what you put on the altar. Let's say you're basically, whatever you put on the altar is giving the Orishas access to in the spiritual realm, or it's giving the spirits access to in the spiritual realm. And so when it says, you know, as it is on earth, as it is in heaven, you know, even in Christianity, they have similar things. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loose in heaven. It's the same way when it comes to your altar, is it talks about the connection of the physical and the spiritual. And so what you put on your altars in the physical, you also have now in the spiritual. And so one of the ways that you can see hidden enemies is by using mirrors and working with Elegua. If you have your consecrated Elegua, you can take 3 mirrors, because Elegua numbers is 3 and the multiples of 3, and 21, which is a multiple of 3. And so with Elegua, you can take 3 mirrors and you can put them on his altar. And there's plenty of rituals you can do. On the mirror, you can put a petition with a brown paper bag and say, reveal to me those that are working in the shadows, and put that on this altar. And then after so many days, whether it's 3 or 7, you must do divination in order to ask him. You will burn that petition, and you will start seeing dreams of the person that is doing magic against you. You will start seeing their name everywhere, that it will start coming to you. People that use cloak magic can be found, especially when you are working with the deities. Never get scared about someone that is working in the shadow that don't want to reveal themselves, because the Orishas will definitely reveal them to you. And mirror magic is one of the best ways to reveal who is working in the shadow. The mirror sees everything. The mirror is a reflection. The mirror catches the shadows. And so mirror magic is one of the best ways that you can catch who is working against you. And once they give it to you, I would still do divination and ask again, just to get that confirmation. Spirit, is this the person that is working against me? And so that was the main thing that I wanted to teach you this morning, is working with Elegua in order to reveal who is working against you. Elegua is a very powerful deity, because once you know the person that is working against you, Elegua is the deity that you work with in order to open your doors, and Elegua is also the deity that you work with in order to close the doors of the person that was working against you. Because, I mean, I'm just that petty. You know, if you closing my doors, bitch, I'm finna use Elegua to open my shit, and I'm finna shut your shit and lock the shit. and put all types of barriers on there where, baby, you finna be down for a while. And so Elegua is a very powerful deity. He is the first deity we must work with anyways, because you cannot work with any other Orisha until you acknowledge Elegua. Whenever you're working with Elegua, with any deity, you want to make sure that you break bread. You want to make sure that you're giving offering. When it comes to Elegua, Elegua is cigars. Elegua is alcohol. That you would take it and you would spit it on him. And you would smoke cigars on him as well. If you don't have your consecrated Elegua, you go to the crossroad. You go to the crossroad and you drop 3 pennies. You drop 3 pieces of candy that you did not open. Elegua is not Eshu. Eshu, you open his stuff. Elegua, you keep his sealed. And so you drop 3 things of candy. Drop an apple and banana and an orange, but apple and bananas is what he really likes. And Elegua will take anything, so do an apple, banana, and 1 orange, so you still following the path of 3. And then once you do that, put some alcohol in your mouth, and you're dropping all of this on the crossroad for the uninitiated, trying to access Elegua. What is a crossroad? There's a big difference. Don't get confused, because every entry point is something different. The intersections is not a crossroad, and it's a difference. The intersection, if you're looking for direction, I would go to the intersection. But when you are looking to open your paths and stuff like that, especially because somebody is working against you and you don't want to make the wrong choice, you go to the crossroads. The crossroads is actually the path to neutralize magic. It neutralizes spells and stuff that is being done against you. The intersection doesn't do that. And so even though the intersection can open your doors in so many different ways, because the intersection, you have north, south, east, west, you have every direction on the intersection. But with the crossroad is only 2 roads. It's always a road that you have a choice to go left or right. And the middle point of where it points, of where the road divides, that point is the crossroad, and that's where you will go in the middle in order to access Elegua. And you can do all types of stuff at the crossroad. That you can take 3 coins and drop it down. You can take 3 pieces of candy, an apple, banana, and an orange, and then from there you'll take some alcohol. You'll spit it on the offering that you just gave. You'll do it 3 times. You'll take a cigar and you'll smoke. You'll let the smoke touch your offering that you just presented to Elegua. And then that's when you will call on Elegua. Elegua, I need your help. Elegua, I need you to open my doors. Elegua, I need your blessings. Someone is working against me. I need you to open my doors. And I want you to close the doors of the person that has sent me this magic. Elegua is very powerful. Elegua, never underestimate Elegua. And Elegua and Eshu are 2 different people. Eshu is just as powerful. I love Eshu. Whenever you get done with a cigar, it's really good to put it on Eshu. Put it on top of Eshu. Eshu is always, Eshu is the used. Just like I said before in the video, whenever you eat, before you eat, you break bread with the ancestors and you put, things on the ancestor altar. Eshu is the leftovers. And so whatever you didn't eat on your plate, or whatever food you have left on the oven, before you put it up in the refrigerator, you take some of that and you put it on Eshu. Just like when you get done with a cigar, you leave the rest of that for Eshu. Eshu is always like the leftovers, the aftermath, and so his stuff is normally always open and exposed to the elements, whereas Elegua's is always sealed. That is the main thing that I wanted to teach you, is how to catch these motherfuckers. Where it's like, bitch, you cannot hide. Like, come on. You can't hide. You can do all the cloaking magic you want, but you cannot hide when you know how to work with your deities. And using a mirror will definitely show you exactly who is working with you, and it will manifest in different ways. You, like I said, you will have dreams of that person. You'll see their names everywhere. You cannot hide when you are working with these deities. You can do all the cloaking magic you want. I think I was going too much in a rush, and I didn't really tell you about Oya. I told you that if you're initiated, you have Oya at home. Work with Oya. You know, do your shaker, do your fan, do your tobacco smoke, all types of stuff that Oya like. Remember, Oya is a dominant energy. Oya is, when you're working with Oya, Oya is like working with one of the male Orishas. You know, so with Oya, you know, don't be thinking that Oya is this cutesy female. You know, Oya is a warrior. Oya challenged Ogun. Oya fought Ogun. Ogun is powerful. Ogun is a very powerful warrior. In my eyes, one of the strongest warriors. He's strong. He's the strongest out of all of the warriors, including my daddy. No offense. Including my daddy Chango. Ogun is a beast. And Oya challenged him. Oya fought Ogun in order to save Chango. Because Ogun was fighting Chango because Oya was first married to Ogun, and they're twin brothers. That's the funny thing about this. Chango and Ogun are twin brothers. And Oya was first married in the Painted Keys to Ogun. But Ogun was very dominant, and he didn't want Oya to work. You know, Ogun actually did spell work as well to try to make Oya more submissive. And so there's a lot of Painted Keys of what happened within their relationship, with Ogun doing spell work on Oya, trying to make her more submissive, because Oya did not want to be a stay-at-home wife. And Ogun is like, I'm the provider, I'm the warrior. You just need to be that energy of Oba, where you stay home and you cook and you do this and you do that. And Oya was like, baby, that's not me. I want to go in battle with you. I want to fight on the side of you. And Ogun was like, hell no. And like with any relationship, when you keep denying your partner of what it is that they want, eventually they will end up going out and finding somebody that is more compatible with their energy. Because Oya learned quickly that as much as I love Ogun, I'm not compatible with this energy. You want me to be this submissive stay-at-home wife, and I am destined to be a warrior. Eventually, she ended up meeting his brother Chango. And Chango is a pretty boy, but Chango is still a very powerful, strong, dominant warrior. You know, one of the things about Chango, where people always try to paint Chango to be this big, muscular dude, that's Ogun. You know, and a lot of Painted Keys, it actually tell you how flamboyant Chango is. You know, Chango is very flamboyant. Chango is, when I think of Chango, I think of the Nigerians. Because Nigerians are known for being good looking from head to toe. I have never seen a Nigerian that is ugly. I have never seen a Nigerian that is not matching, that is not smelling good, that don't have name brand from top to bottom. Your Nigerian men, they take beauty to a different level, where flamboyant is not trying to look like a female. Flamboyant is just a guy that, you know, sometimes can cross over into what we think is a female territory, where a flamboyant dude, they will wear makeup in order for their skin to appear very clear with no blemish. Those are the ones that will take hours in order to get dressed, making sure their beard is completely lined. They wouldn't be doing a video like this where their beard is not together, you know, because when I get up, I just don't, I'm not going to be doing my beard, putting all the oils and stuff in there. I'm going to wait till I get ready for work. You know, your flamboyant boys, they're going to be looking good from top to bottom. That is the energy of Chango. Chango is he's a pretty boy. Chango is going to look good from top to bottom. You're never going to see him, you know, lacking in that department. And so Chango eventually end up getting with Oya. And so Oya completely leaves Ogun and end up getting with Chango because she finally found somebody that matched her energy, that she can be the warrior that she wants to be. Of course, Ogun was pissed, and Ogun came to fight Chango. And when you read the Painted Keys, which are the sacred stories, Ogun was winning. Ogun is a very powerful warrior. He is the strongest warrior out of all of the warriors. And I tell people all the time, never fuck with a child of Ogun or someone that is protected by Ogun. In every last one of those Painted Keys, Ogun is a fucking beast. And Ogun was winning. And so Oya came in to defend her man, which is Chango, and she did a powerful win. And the wind started destroying everything. It started pushing Ogun back with all of his strength and with all of his might. It started destroying the forest, which is Ogun dominion, one of his dominions, because we know him more than anything as the railroad, but Ogun is the railroad, civilization, the forest. And so the forest started being destroyed. Trees was uprooting because of Oya's powerful wind. And eventually Ogun said, okay, stop. I give up. I will stop this battle for now. And because of that, it showed you how powerful Oya is. Oya is a very powerful warrior. And whenever Chango goes into battle, Oya is always present. Oya is the thunder that you hear first, and Chango is the lightning that strikes that you see, that creates a powerful fire. They go hand in hand in a very powerful warrior combination. Is whenever you see the thunder and you start to hear the wind, forming and getting strong, and the thunder is present and things are being destroyed and the thunder is striking a tree and things like that. That is the combination of Oya and Chango working together. Oya is the entrance of the cemetery. Whenever you need to approach Oya, one of the best offerings that you can give Oya is a eggplant. And Oya like chocolate as well, and wine. And so whenever you need Oya, eggplants, and depending on how severe your situation is, you can only go up to 9. You don't exceed 9. And so if you are saying, Oya, I need you now, this is very severe, you give 9 eggplants. If you are saying, you know what, Oya, I need you, but at the end of the day, I can wait, give 3. Give 2. But 9 is, I need you now, this cannot wait. And you would leave 9 eggplants at the cemetery, at the gate of the cemetery. When it comes to Oya, you can leave a cup of wine as well. So you can do 9 eggplants. You can do a bottle of wine. You will open the wine and just lay it there. And you can always do some chocolate where you can lay like a bar of chocolate on top of the eggplants. That is an offering that I typically give Oya, especially when I need her. I would lay the eggplants down, make it neat in a circle. Remember, Oya is a very elegant spirit, and so presentation is everything. Do not lay things down sloppy for Oya. You're not going to get the best response. Make it neat, make it look good. You are talking to a goddess. And so you would make it neat, and then on top of there, I would lay like 3 bars of chocolate, and then from there, I'll do a bottle of wine, and I'll pray to Oya. Oya, I need you to do this, blah, 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 blah. Boom, you're done with Oya. So in the beginning, you now know what it is that you now know how to get your rose quartz. It's otterspirit.com. You know how to work with Oya, that you need your shaker, you need your fan, and now you know what it's for. It's when you're dealing with heavy issues with Oya, don't go there just crying your heart out without fanning her. And you want to do the shaker. You know that if you're uninitiated, you need to go to the gate of the cemetery or the marketplace, the entrance of the marketplace. You know that whenever someone is working magic against you, and they are hiding in the shadow and doing cloaking magic, that you want to use mirrors. Mirrors is the best way in order to see the reflection of your enemy. let's get into this reading. Thank you, Goon. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Ancestors. Thank you, Sarabanda. Thank you, Orisha. Thank you, Yeshua. Thank you, Ola Domare. Thank you, Ola Rune. Thank you, Ola Fi. What is in the cards today that you want to reveal? Give me something that will strengthen your people, that will give them motivation and encouragement, and that will lead them in the right direction. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, all of my spirits. Some of the best rituals that you can do, that was one of the things I wanted to add. Some of the best rituals that you can do is when your spiritual team guide you through it. There have been so many rituals where, at the end of the day, you got to understand everything you are not going to learn in books. Everything you are not going to learn in books. There have been so many times that the spirits have gotten me up and they are like, I want you to do this. Mix this herb, and this herb. And I'm like, that is something that I would not normally mix. That's something that I normally wouldn't put together. And it's like, don't question it. If your spiritual team is telling you to do it, then do it. It's a reason that they're telling you to do it. We have to learn how to focus more on our intuition and not keep going for validation from other people. You don't need your priest and your Babalawo to approve everything when you know this is coming from spirit. When things are coming from spirit, you get up and you move. Stop being so damn lazy. That's the one thing of how I've always been so blessed, and witchcraft have never been able to overtake me like that, because when they tell me to get up and to start doing workings, baby, I get up and I start doing workings. I've been up ever since 1:21 this morning, and I think it's like 4 some now. Baby, it don't stop. And I still got to get up and go to work. I can't go back to sleep. Now I got to do my daytime job, which is HR. You do what the spirits is telling you to do. There's a reason that they're telling you to do it. It's a reason why they're telling you to do it at a certain time. We just need to be obedient and do it, and stop pushing everything back and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this the next day. And then the next thing you know, witchcraft is now in your house when they got you up ahead of time in order to keep that shit at bay. But now, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in the right timing, now all of a sudden witchcraft is in your home. There's a mixture of love and magic here. There's a mixture of love and magic. And I always go with the flow, man. I always go with the flow of what spirit is saying, because it's funny how every last one of these pre-messages that I always do, they always end up tying with the reading. They always end up tying with the reading. That's I always go with the flow of spirit. I tell you what spirit tell me to tell you. I add nothing to it, and they always flow with the reading. With this reading, there's a possibility, because I don't teach Orishas like that, because it's like, at the end of the day, I don't want to be hearing everybody mouth the Babalawos and stuff like that, because it's a closed practice, and technically this stuff is supposed to be taught to you by your Babalawo or your Orisha priest. And even though I am an Orisha priest, crowned Oya, and daddy is Chango, scratched in Palomayambe, work with hoodoo, even though I am a priest, the one that is supposed to be teaching you is your godparent. Whoever brought you into the religion is your godparent, and that is the one that should be teaching you. But sadly, all too often, these people just take your money, and you have these consecrated Orishas in home, and you don't know what to do. You don't know the things that you need to do in order to protect yourself. And so it's like, as much as I don't like teaching about the religion, especially on a large platform like this, sometimes it's necessary, because that is what spirit is just leading me to do. And it's like, I'm not trying to, be disrespectful in any type of way to the religion, but this is, spirit could be leading whoever this message is for to work with Oya and to work with Elegua, because those are the two Orishas that came up, and so you could be led to work with those two Orishas in order to rid yourself of what it is that you're going through. We have the Nine of Wands as the overall energy. The Nine of Wands is very close to success. The Nine of Wands is the testing of your faith. When it says that it's always darkest before the dawn, that is the energy of the Nine of Wands. Because this is the energy of you're either going to be courageous and you're going to make it, or you're going to give up. Because when you look at the Nine of Wands, it is a man that is holding one of the wands in his hand. And he's holding that wand in order to stabilize himself. Because at any moment, he can give up. At any moment, his legs can give out. And so this is someone that is on a breaking point where you are holding on to spirituality in order to hold yourself up. This is someone that could be cleansing every day, and you are like, I'm tired of the spiritual attacks. I'm tired of people keep sending me magic. But what you don't realize is you're right on the breaking point with the Nine of Wands being here. The Nine of Wands is saying, if you just hold your faith, if you just hold steady, what's getting ready to come of what you possibly don't see is the World card, which is the next card in this thing. There's going to be a completion to a cycle, and you're going to end up getting fulfillment, but it's only if you stand your ground. The most important thing about the Nine of Wands is that this is a very powerful position, because this is the position of a breakthrough or starting this thing over from the beginning. Because if you collapse and you lose track of that one, which is spiritual energy, which is the one that is holding you up, if you let go of that thing and you fall, which is symbolizing giving up, you are back at the beginning. Because now you are saying, fuck it, I just can't do this no more. You stop doing the cleansings, you stop doing the spiritual work, and now the magic is going to overtake you, and you are back at the beginning. And it's like, you have been doing this for the last 2 years or whatever. Why the hell would you give up now? And it's like, now you started yourself back over. And some of you realize, well, why am I keep going through the same cycle? Why am I keep going through the same thing? Every time I hear a reading, it's keep saying, this is coming, this is going to happen. Why has it happened yet? Because you were at the Nine of Wands and you failed. The Nine of Wands is the testing of your faith. It is the card that you see when you are right there on a breakthrough. And so the Nine of Wands is a very strong position, because the Nine of Wands is not the crossroad where you have a choice to go left or right. The Nine of Wands is the entrance right before that breakthrough. It tells you that it's always darkest before the dawn. And the Nine of Wands is asking you the question, are you going to give up now when you have put in all of this hard work? Are you going to give up now when you have put in all of this? I like the song from Donnie McCartland where it says, after you have done all you can, just stand. And that is the energy of the Nine of Wands. When you have done everything that you were supposed to do, that you have done your cleansings, you have done your rituals, you have done your Ebo, you have talked to the Orishas. When you have done all you can, you stand in the energy of the Nine of Wands, that at this point, you are now waiting for the Orishas to respond, and you are waiting for your spirits to respond. The Nine of Wands is always darkest before the dawn, and it's telling you don't give up now when you have already done the work. After the Nine of Wands, we have the World card, which is a very strong portal that is getting ready to open for you. You are getting ready to go into a season of fulfillment. Someone is getting ready to go into a season of fulfillment, but you probably don't see it. And it's because you have been through so much shit. Everything has been turmoil for the last couple of days. That's just like, how this thing is keep losing sight. Normally it always do that where the video will go dark depending on how I move. This is someone that is in their dark moment. It's so much symbolism that is going on right now, that is crazy. And it's matching the energy of the cards. There's so much symbolism that's going on right now. Someone is in their darkest phase right now. You are right at the entrance of a breakthrough, and you are being asked, will you give up? This is the worst time. The worst time is not the beginning of a storm. It's not the middle of a storm. We can handle those because in the beginning, we like, fuck you, bitch. You don't know who I am. And then in the middle, we might be a little tired, but we like, you know what? I'm going to push this thing through. It's always the end. The end is the toughest part because that's when we start to question ourselves and we say, is this really going to happen? It's just like with Jesus when he was going through his turmoil. One of the first things that was asked is, Lord, why have you forsaken me? It's always darkest before the dawn. It's always the darkest when a breakthrough is getting ready to happen. This is where you see the maximize of your spiritual attacks. This is where you start to see more monitoring spirits. This is where you start to see everything is right before your breakthrough. And the reason is because this is their last attempt to try to get you. This is their last attempt to try to trap you. But if you stay focused on the Most High, Olodumare, God of the earth, Olorun, God of the heavens, and Olafi, the mediator between the two, if you focus on the light, you'll be able to get yourself through this. Because there's a portal that's opening up for you that somebody is getting ready to go into a strong period of fulfillment. The World card is a major arcana, which is outside of your control. A portal is getting ready to open up for someone, a very powerful portal. And this is associated with the number 21. And 21 is Elegua number, which Elegua is the owner of portals. He is the owner of the road. He opens the way for us. Someone is getting ready to go through a very powerful portal that is going to open up a completely different life for you. That what you have been going through for the last couple of, weeks, days, months, whatever it has been for you, years, things are getting ready to change, and it's going to change just like that. It's going to be a blinking of an eye that things are going to change for you, and you're going to know that it was only by the hands of your spiritual team. It was only by the hands of the Orishas that things are getting ready to change for you. And so now we ask the question, well, Rashad, what is getting ready to change? What is getting ready to open up for us? That is what the clarifier is for. The overall energy is telling me that you are in a very dark season right now. And that dark season is that you are right at the entrance of that door, of that breakthrough that's getting ready to happen. And once you make it through that, a whole nother different portal is getting ready to open up that you are going to be in a place of fulfillment. What does that fulfillment look like? The clarifier is the Death card with the Emperor. The Death card is about a major transformation, and it's saying that this transformation is getting ready to happen with the Emperor. There's a divine masculine that is getting ready to come back into your life. And this is a twin flame because both the Emperor and the Empress is here. But watch how you're mirroring each other at the same time, because one of the things that is very noted in a twin flame connection is the mirroring that you guys do. Look at how you're mirroring each other. Your energy is on top, which is being seen as the Nine of Wands. That is a very dark place because the Nine of Wands is right at the entrance of a breakthrough. And whenever you're at the entrance of a breakthrough, it is the darkest before the dawn. This is somebody that you are going through the most intense month that you have ever been through throughout this whole entire attack. This is the darkest that you are like, did more people join this goddamn coven? Is it more people attacking me? This is someone that is feeling the intensity of the person that is doing this witchcraft, the lies, the manipulation, the deception, the attack against your character. You are feeling the most at this point. But you're not alone, because when you look at the first clarifier, which is at the bottom of this card, your person is going through the same thing. Theirs is just an ego death. They are going through a powerful transformation that is stripping the things that is no longer serving them, that spirit don't want them to carry no more. You are mirroring each other. You are mirroring each other in a very powerful way. Yours is just the testing of your faith, because you're right there on the entrance of a breakthrough, and this person is at an ego death, where it's a transformation of saying, will you change and let go of all these things that is not serving your highest good? And there's a good outcome for the both of you. The outcome for the top energy, which is the divine feminine, is saying a portal is getting ready to open for you, that fulfillment is getting ready to come into your life. This is arrival. This is travel. It's saying that somebody is going to come to you. Somebody is going to be present. And then for the divine masculine, it's saying that you're going into your energy as the divine masculine. You have made it through the ego death. You have made it through the spiritual awakening, and you have become the emperor. So you both are mirroring each other, and both of you have a good outcome if you keep on course. And so whenever we don't see the outcome that the cards is telling us, that means you failed the test with the 9 of Wands. If you don't see the outcome, divine masculine, that means you refuse to change. That means you're still going through an ego death. That means that it's still something that needs to be wiped away in order for you to go back into this connection. And so it's not saying that the cards is lying and it's not picking up what's going to happen. It's saying that it's something that you fucked up and it's something that you did wrong. Whether it's the 9 of Wands, you gave up and you collapsed and you didn't keep your balance on that one, or it's the emperor, where he is saying, or technically he's not the emperor yet. Let's not get too happy. You still got ego death first. So it's saying that this person did not go through this ego death. They did not, get completely stripped of everything that spirit has stripped them from. These are two people that are mirroring each other, and what you are feeling, the other person is feeling as well. You are both going through the most intense season of your life. Both parties is feeling this. You both feel a sense of loneliness. You both feel a sense of separation. And that energy is going to be used for your highest good, because that is going to be the energy that brings you back together. You having the crossing energy, and the crossing energy is the position of what's influencing the overall energy, or is canceling out the overall energy. And what's influencing the overall energy is that you have the Knight of Cups, that someone is going to come back and give you a cup of love. And so clearly with the Knight of Cups being here is letting me know that this person made it through the ego death. When you look at the card of the Death card, there's a lot of symbolism in a lot of these cards. You really got to pick it up. And this camera is not the best at, showing this shit, because it's keep getting dark. There's a body. There's a human body that is under this horse. That is the death of your person. That is the old them. And what's on top of the horse is a skeleton and armor. This is spirit that is saying, you know what? I'm about to remove this flesh of yours that is killing everything. The Bible says that I will take your heart of stone and I will give you a heart of flesh. And so it's a ripping of that. It's a ripping of all of these bad things. And so this body that's underneath the horse is being represented as this person. Is that this must come to an end. You must lose this flesh, because this flesh is not going to create movement. What's going to create movement is by you getting out of the flesh. And the skeleton is the representation of what's internal, which is Ori. And it's saying that Ori must be present, and Ori must go through an ego death. Your inner child, Ori, whatever you want to call it, it must go through an ego death in order to help that flesh to be redirected in the right way. Remember, when it comes to Ori, Ori can be good or bad. And we decide whether Ori is going to be good or bad. And so it's saying that this flesh must leave. Ori must take over, being represented as the skeleton in armor. And now in the crossing energy, it gets his flesh back. And now this transformation, this great transformation has happened. And once this person got their flesh back, now all of a sudden they're giving you a cup of love. And so this is a symbolism that the whore, the liar, the deceiver, the community property, that this person has come to a death, that this person is now under being trampled by the horse in the death card, that Ori has completely taken over when it comes to this person, that this is someone that can be going through a sexual drought right now because spirit is like, I don't want you to entertain other spirits, other souls. That, this is a killing of the flesh. When you go through an ego death, it is a killing of whatever it is that was holding you back. If you were overspending a lot, through an ego death, you have no money. If you were a nasty ass whore, during the ego death, you have nobody you can have sex with. An ego death is the stripping away of what was controlling the flesh. Because the reason why you are going through an ego death is because the flesh was more powerful than the spirit. And now an ego death is saying, no, sir, we are about to kill this flesh and we are about to let it be trampled by the horse that your Ori is going to ride on top of. And a horse is movement. Now we have movement forward because Ori is taking over. It's no longer the flesh being able to have control over this situation, over this person. And now all of a sudden, this heart of stone that has been crushed is now turned into a heart of flesh, that this person literally have their flesh back. And this is someone that is coming in a more transformed state, which is being seen as the emperor in the overall energy. And this is the person that is giving you a cup of love. This is someone that has learned from their mistakes. And this is someone that has literally went through a transformation. This is going to end up being a great manifestation. The Page of Pentacles is manifestation. This is going to be someone that's going to come to you in the physical and they're going to offer you a gift. Not only will they give you a cup of love, this is someone that's going to give you an apology. This is someone that's going to give you a gift. This is someone that is going to try their hardest to get back into your life. And remember, this person has went through an ego death. This is someone that's going to come back changed. You have in the crowning energy. The crowning energy is what you need to do immediately, but the crowning energy is also the present energy. And so keep that in mind. Whenever you do a full-blown read, you go into the past, the present, and the future, and you go into the external environment, the internal emotions, and the conclusion. I never do a full reading on a video like that, like a video like this, because it's literally going to probably end up taking like 2 hours or so. And my readings are already long. And so it's like, let's not do a full reading. Let's just do the most important, which the most important to me is the first 4 placements, which is the overall energy, which is the big picture of what's going on, the crossing energy, which is what's influencing or crossing out the overall energy, the crowning energy, which is what you need to do immediately to solve the problem, and it's also the representation of what the current energy look like, what this person is going through right now at this current moment as I am speaking, and then the challenge position, which is the challenge at hand, which is saying, will you overcome this problem? Because this is what's being presented. And so as we get back now into the crowning energy, we have the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is all about being imprisoned. This is someone that is trapped in their mind. This is someone that is receiving a lot of negative thoughts. And so someone is trapped in their mind, someone feels imprisoned. And it could be the both of you because this is a twin. And both of you are going through heavy things right now. And you are at a very dark period. And so this is someone that feels trapped and feels imprisoned. And this imprisonment is coming by magic because you have the Magician card here. This is someone that has done magic. And when you look at the crowning energy, The crowning energy is always the energy that is above the overall energy. Because it's above the overall energy and the crowning energy, they are always combined. They are always connected, divinely connected, just like the crossing energy and the challenge position is always connected. There's so many different ways you can read these damn cards. And so when you look at the crowning energy, we have someone that is trapped by magic. You have the Eight of Swords. Keep in mind that when I say magic, which I teach in every single reading, magic is not always spells and potions. Magic is not always someone going to their altar and doing spell work and sending you all types of shit. Magic can be manipulation. Magic can be lies and deception. Magic can be so many different things. It's just something that has the ability to manipulate. And so a lie has the ability to manipulate how people view you. It manipulates your perception of other people. And so a lie will be seen as magic in a card reading. Deception, manipulation, is the manipulation of a situation in order for someone to get their way. Deception is manipulating something in order for someone to deceive you. All of those things will be seen as magic, and heavy magic, especially if it's doing a lot of damage. And the magician is a major arcana, and so it's saying that this is heavy magic that is influencing someone's mind. There was a lie that was told, there was magic that was cast, there was illusion that was present that completely destroyed this connection. And you have the Devil card here, that this is the thing that bound you, that you are feeling so entrapped, and this is the thing that bound you, was that this magic has completely shaped the way that two people are viewing each other, that you are viewing each other in the most negative light possible. Thank God for the challenge position, because the challenge position is starting off with the Chariot, and the Chariot is a card of major movement. The Chariot card is more stronger than the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is all about fast-acting energy, which the Eight of Wands is not present, but the Chariot card is. The Chariot card is the card of marriage. The Chariot card is the card of victory and success. And the Chariot card is noted for movement. And so there's going to be movement forward in this situation. The Chariot card is represented by the number 7, which is divine completion. There is going to be divine completion of a situation, which we already see that being represented in the overall energy as the World card. There are two things that's telling us that this is getting ready to come to an end, and there is going to be forward movement. But it's only if we do our part, that the spirits is definitely with you. And so now it's, will you do your part and make it out of the darkest season that you have probably ever experienced? We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is all about anticipation. Someone is anticipating, hoping and praying that this portal is going to open up, because you have two wands, and then you have this person that's in the middle. You have the world that this person is holding in their hands. The world that this person is holding in their hands, that they're looking at this world, this is someone that is looking at you and that is spying on you. This is someone that is looking at your social media. This is someone that is looking for an entrance in. You know, the World card, it kind of, the world that is holding, it kind of remind you of a crystal ball. So this is someone that is looking in. This is someone that is seeing, you know, what state you're in and things like that, anticipating the perfect time in which to come, the perfect time in which to walk through this portal. Because this person is ready to walk through this portal. They're anticipating for something to happen. And what they're anticipating is that the divine feminine will come back, which is being represented as the Empress. This is someone that wants the Empress back. They're anticipating. They're waiting for this. They're waiting for their moment. This may end up being a foot in the door technique, where this is going to end up being the divine masculine reaching out saying, hey, happy birthday, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, in order to just see where you are at. And if you respond back saying, oh, Merry Christmas, oh, thanks for the birthday wishes, thanks for this, that's when this person is going to end up trying to get a new beginning. That's when they're going to start the conversation and say, hey, how's your day? And they're going to slowly walk into trying to enter back into your life. But if you get that message and you end up responding back, fuck you, nigga, then, well, all of the hard work and everything that you put in, you could have closed this door. And we're back at square one. This is a very critical time for somebody right now. This is a very critical time. This is someone that you really need to sit back and pray. And you really need to ask Spirit to give you the words to say. Because when this person comes back, if you end up saying the wrong thing, you're going to end up closing this door that you may not be able to open this thing back up. This is a critical moment for the both of you. You both are at a very critical point right now in your life. The divine feminine is in the energy of the 9 of Wands, that is, you're right in the middle of a breakthrough, and this is a period for you that you're filled with so much anxiety. That this is, you're questioning yourself, where it's like, if this is really love, then why did it take you so long to come back? If this is really love, then why did you do the things that you did? Why did you hurt me in this type of way? And I'm not saying that those feelings are not valid, but if you stay in that energy, your response is going to be hostile. That you're going to end up starting a fight and an argument with this person that's going to end up having the ability to close this door. The divine masculine is in a very interesting place, because this is someone that's going through an ego death, where there's a lot of things that must be stripped from this emperor. And if this person doesn't strip everything away, they're going to end up fucking up this connection, because the divine feminine is not going to take this person back being in the same energy. The only way that this is going to happen is if this person transform and actually go into the energy of the emperor. Nothing else on this board is going to make sense if this person don't go into the energy of the emperor. The overall energy is the biggest thing in this reading, because both parties is in a transformational state that must happen in order for everything else on the board to connect. And if this doesn't happen in the overall energy, then everything else on the board is going to fall apart. And so the one on top, which is the divine feminine must heal. And we must understand that everybody comes with baggage. Everyone has the ability to hurt you. But you being the divine feminine, you have the ability to heal. And it's not saying that you should be a doorstep and just allow people to just do whatever because you have the ability to heal. But it is saying that some things is worth fighting for. Some things is worth healing and forgiving and moving forward. But that's up to you. That's a decision for you to make, and that's not a decision for me. You know your situation inside and out. I'm only telling you the energy that's present. The divine masculine must change. There's a strip down that is happening, and this person must be willing to be stripped. They must be willing to let go of all these things that is not serving their highest good. Let's get back to the challenge position, because we drifted off. Following the lead of spirit. We still have the clarifiers that we didn't go over. The clarifiers is the 9 of Pentacles, which is a reward. The 9 of Pentacles, when you look at the 9 of Pentacles, it is a woman that is clothed in luxury. A very beautiful gown with pentacles all around, a bird that is, on her arm. This is, a position of someone that's going to be rewarded for all of their hard work. When you look at the Nine of Pentacles, if you go down one to the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles is all about hard work. And now the Nine of Pentacles is the results of what you see from your hard work. It's all of this work that you have put in, that even though you were tired, even though you were depressed, even though you were lonely, even though you were sad, you kept pushing and you spoke those things that were not as if they were. And because of that, you are being rewarded for your faith. It said that it only take a mustard seed, and you utilize that to your advantage. That even though you are going through a lot and you're holding on for dear life, this is still somebody that was able to keep the faith. And because of that, you are being rewarded. And the reward that you're getting is the Sun card, which is the happiest card in the deck. This is someone that is basking in the sun, basking in the energy and the rays of the sun. This is someone that's going to end up going into a completely different life. You're going to be happy. You're going to be fulfilled with the World card. What you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is always telling you what you don't see coming. What you don't see coming is the Hangman. There's a new perspective here. There's a new perspective, but this new perspective, it came in by your life being flipped upside down. That your life had to be flipped upside down in order for you to get this alignment on both sides, because you're mirroring each other. What you don't see at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords, is that communication is getting ready to come in. Someone is going to get ready to communicate with you. This is a love that is coming back together, and we keep seeing this, every single, week. How much? I got 5% before this thing died. Let's cleanse this energy. When someone's energy is present, you can do so many rituals on this energy. You can do so much energy. You can do so much energy work on this card, on these card readings. Because whoever energy that's picking up, baby, I'm finna do a ritual on your behalf. I hope you agree to it. I don't have the time to try to search who it is and get your permission. We just about to do it. Orange candle is all about creativity. An orange candle is creativity. We finna light this thing. And we want the energies to bless this connection and to give you guys a creative way back to each other, to open this door. That both parties will get in alignment. Their spirit will free both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Open this door for us, Elegua. Allow this divine masculine and divine feminine to come back together. Ogun, clear the path. Ochosi, bring us divine justice. Be with us, warriors. Oya, blow away everything with your wind that is coming against this connection. Chango, burn everything up that is coming against it, and use your fire to light the way. Let these two souls find each other again. Let them be in harmony. Let them be in peace. Let them be in love. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Move them forward, Spirit. Let nothing come against this connection. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He lead me beside the still waters. He restores my soul for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your rampart. You would not fear the terror of night, nor the arrows that fly by day, nor the pest that stalk in the darkness, nor the plague that destroy at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike a foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for He acknowledges my name. He will call on me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying God will not deliver me. But you, Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. I call out to the Lord and He answers me from His holy mountain. I lie down and sleep, I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear though tens of thousands assail me on every side. Arise, Lord, deliver me, my God. Strike all my enemies on the jaw, break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessings be on your people. Ashe, amen. Why do the nations conspire and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up, the rulers band together against the Lord and against His anointed, saying, let us break their chains and throw off their shackles. The one enthroned in heaven laugh. The Lord scoffed at them. He rebukes them in His anger and terrifies them in His wrath, saying, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, you are my son, I am your father. Ask and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possessions. You will break them with a rod of iron, you will dash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore, you kings, be wise, be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and celebrate His rule with trembling. Kiss His son, or He will be angry, and your ways will lead to your own destruction. Blessed are those who call on the name of the Lord. Ashe, amen. I guess Spirit said we done. Bring this relationship back together, Spirit. Allow these two souls to find each other. Ashe, amen. Ashe, amen. I'm hoping you guys work this shit out. If this is the person you love, make it work. Ashe.